everyone. Glad to see everyone. Uh, all the registrations and attendees joining from Asia, Europe, and Australia. I would like to take this moment to wish each one of you good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are. What an incredible opportunity today we have as we connect globally and come together and connect globally on different time zones. It is truly an amazing chance. Welcome to today's webinar on our Smart Upgrade Accelerator. So, during this session, we will explore the innovations and the automations we have implemented to streamline the Pega platform's upgrade and containerization. To introduce me, I'm Jayanti, the AVP of Pre-Sales at Installars. Here we are dedicated to customer success and driving technology innovation. Joining me today is Shekhar Jyotimani, our global practice head. He's connecting from Singapore. Shekhar brings an extensive experience in building enterprise platforms with Pega and has deep background in Pega upgrades. Welcome, Shekhar.
Thanks, Jayanti.
So, just to keep the webinar more interactive, I will be posting some questions to Shekhar regarding the overview, challenges, and the deployment related to our Smart Upgrade Accelerator. Shekhar, to begin with, can you give us a high-level overview of Pega Smart Upgrade Accelerator? What are the key benefits does it offers to organizations who are looking to upgrade and containerize their environment?
Sure, Jayanti. Installars Pega Smart Upgrade Accelerator, right? It simplifies the upgrade process by combining latest Pega version upgrade with the containerization deployment. So we use the containerization in our solution because starting from version 8.8, right, the VM-based deployments are deprecated. And we have used our extensive experience to develop this comprehensive solution. And in our process, right, we follow a structured case management workflow with the guided steps throughout our accelerator. And in our solution, right, it includes two case types. One is for upgrade case type, and other one is for post upgrade case type, right? This case management, right, it offers a flexibility by allowing a guided process with the certain task automated and certain task, right, it's been handled manually. Okay. And when it comes to our based upon our experience, right, what we did is we have automated the key aspects of upgrade process to proactively prevent unexpected issues normally which we encounter in the upgrade process. And not all the Pega developers are familiar with upgrade and containerization deployment. This guided process, right, which accelerates the upgrade by reducing overall effort by 30 to 40%. And when it comes to benefits, right, I can say two benefits. One is containerization benefits and Pega upgrade benefits. So the containerization benefits is nothing but as we are going with the Kubernetes, right, now Kubernetes becomes standard deployment model, right, which offers an exceptional scalability and reliability to the application. And with this Pega cloud native and microservice based architecture, right, we can leverage the applications with auto scaling capabilities, which helps the applications in optimized performance, and also it improves in terms of resource management. Okay, these are the benefits from the containerization perspective. From a Pega upgrade perspective, right, as everyone knows that Pega introduced the advanced features with each releases. So whenever we do upgrade from current versions to the latest versions, right, always that takes the advantage of using cutting edge capabilities, which always it benefits to the business operations, and also to the extensive user experience, right? And when it comes to the latest versions, right, right, with the introduction of next generation features like Pega Blueprint and Pega GenAI, right, that will be really helpful to to the application. And when it comes to the security, right, always the latest versions of Pega, right, which is follows the security protocol, and it aligns with the security standard, security standards, and it provides a more secure environment. And when it comes to the performance, right, always the latest versions of Pega applications, right, it provides a much improved performance, and in terms of application scalability and overall efficiency.
Okay.
And when it comes to support, right, I would say the older versions, right, may lose the support over a period of time, because each and every client has to move to the latest versions.
Latest version.
And
Okay.
upgrading the applications to the latest versions, right, that ensures that we can raise the support ticket with Pega, and then we can get the response from Pega, Jayanti.
Got it, Shikhar. So, which means the upgrade process is simplified with Installers Pega Smart Upgrade Accelerator, since it is combining the latest version with containerized deployment on Kubernetes. It is also truly amazing to hear that the overall effort is reduced by 30 to 40%, especially for developers who are unfamiliar with upgrades and containerization. So, just curious to know on the challenges when it comes to upgrading Pega application. What are the most common challenges that organization faces? How does Pega upgrade as a service help address these issues, Shikhar?
Sure, Jayanti. When it comes to the challenges, right? First of all, finding the right experts team to do upgrade, the Pega application within the containerization environment itself is challenging, because,
Okay.
as we know, there is a shortage of resource experience in modernization assessment and the remediation strategies.
Yeah,
So when it
upgrade.
comes to the upgrade of Pega application, right, there are many common challenges. Most of the application team, right, they may face it out. So there are
Okay.
a few things like deprecated rules, security, and
Okay.
customization, right? When I say
Got it.
deprecate rules, meaning fixing the deprecate rules in the latest versions of Pega version, right? Some of
Mhm.
the rules or functionalities in Pega becomes a deprecated. So during
Mhm.
upgrade process, right, the upgrade team has to make sure that those issues are identified and we need to fix it out. And when it
Got
comes
it.
to security, so we
Mhm.
always we need to ensure that the application is compliant with the latest security standards of the latest versions of Pega. So we need to go
Got
and fix those rules and all.
it.
And
Okay.
when it comes to the customization, right, many applications, right, they might heavily done a customization to meet the specific customer business needs, right?
Mhm.
During upgrade, right, the custom components might conflict with the latest versions of Pega. So we need to do extra carefully. We need to go and handle those issues and fix it out.
Okay.
So
Okay.
whatever I just mentioned here is the common challenges, right? But
Mhm.
I would like to share the real-time experience in terms of challenges, right?
Okay.
So first of all, when it comes to the infrastructure, right?
Mhm.
So now with the standard deployment model, right, we need to go and externalize the services like Kafka, Cassandra, Elasticsearch, and Hazelcast. So which is
Got it.
totally new to the team, right? So
Okay.
first time when they do a setup, they might be facing some issues, and then they need to overcome it.
Mhm.
And when it comes to the firewall and opening the necessary ports, right, obviously the ports has to be open between the Pega cluster and database, especially when we working with the Excel services, right? There might be a specific port or protocols needs to be updated. So those
Mhm.
things the team has to handle it out. And
Okay.
when it comes to the SSL, right, configuring the SSL in the containerization deployment, especially
Mhm.
when it comes to the certificate management, or when it comes to the load balancer in terms of SSL, right? The team has to handle those SSL configurations. Jayanti.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
And next is I can highlight about the log retention. So the
Mhm.
logs, what are the logs which part is created, part is getting created, right? That is not
Mhm.
permanently saved when it parts gets restarted. So then
Okay.
the
Okay.
specific configurations has to be handled out in order to retain
Okay.
the logs, right?
Lots. Okay. Got it.
Yes. From next one is from a Kafka perspective, right? If there is any issues arises, right? So previously, what our team is doing out is, as we have a full control on the application, right? We
Okay.
used to go and troubleshoot the issues within ourselves, and we'll identify what is the root cause and all. But as the Kafka has been externalized now, so we should rely on the external team for troubleshooting any issues or an assistance.
Yeah. Okay.
The same inspect to with the Excel services, right? Now when we integrating with the Excel services, right, when it comes to the authentication authorization, so what we may need to do it out is, we may need to go and provide a redirect privileges for the Excel
Got it.
services.
Okay.
So those things we need to take care of it when we are
Okay.
the
Okay.
configuring the Excel services.
Got it.
And when it comes to the maintenance of Docker images, right, I would say that each organization, right, they might have their own set of standards. Each organization has to follow their security standard policies and all, right? So this
Okay.
Docker images has to be maintaining those images, because this is provided by Pega. Even though it's provided by Pega, the
Mm.
security standards, right, in terms of vulnerability free and all, right? We need to go and justify with the security team and update saying that this Docker image is totally vulnerability free and all. So that is something the application team has to go and justify it.
Got it.
And next is about collaborating, as I mentioned, right? Always collaborating with the external team is something which is totally new, as this microservices such as this Elasticsearch and Kafka and Cassandra. Cassandra basically when it comes only for the CDH application, right? What would happen is previously this is totally shift from previously VM-based deployment, where we have a dedicated operation team or support team or operation team, middleware team, right, who takes care of everything from a Pega operation support. Now, so now, right, we are totally rely on the external team for each and everything. So these are the things I can say from infrastructure side. And if you ask me from applications, Pega application side, right, there are quite a number of challenges which normally the upgrade team face it out. One of the challenge which I can say it out is the parallel development. So when I say parallel development, right, so during a Pega upgrade, right, obviously there will be ongoing development which is going on to support the BAU. There might be BAU activity which is going on, and they might be doing a SRs which is going on in the current version, right? So obviously, what we need to do is we need to go and merge this code with the latest versions of Pega, right? And actually, what would happen is, let's say during an upgrade process, right? If a team is doing a major skimming and if they want to do a code retrofitting and all, right, some complex is required, and the team has to take extra effort and then handle it out for the code retrofitting. So next is when it comes to the custom code, right? Obviously, the custom code may not fully compliant with the latest versions, right? Then we need to the upgrade team, right? What they need to do is they need to go and handle it out, and they need to go and fix this custom codes in the latest versions. So these are the challenges when it comes to the parallel development. So next, what I can think of is from a rule sync issue. See, this rule sync issue is something which the most of the upgrade team, they might face it out after they do the code deployment to the production environment, right? So after deploying the upgrade fix to the production environment, right, we may encounter some rule synchronization issue, right? What are the rules which may not be picked up? So the team the team has to put a lot of effort and identify the root cause, and then they need to take a necessary action. So this is one of the things which I can highlight it. And one is about the background processing node. See, in one of the recent I would say in upgrade and containerization deployment, right, we were unable to bring a background processing node. And upon reviewing the logs and all, right, we noticed that there are some exceptions which are related to, I would say there are some entries which are related to data flow, and we further investigating the logs, and we noticed that there is some queue processor, the OTP queue processor, gets stuck with some state, right? And then we took a necessary action, and then we resolved the issue. Then we could able to bring up the background processing node in the and when it comes to stream node, right, I think quite most of the upgrade team, they might face challenges with the stream node. When I say stream node, right, bringing up the stream node is always challenging, and that too especially with when you go with the embedded Kafka. So that is the reason right now even the recommendation is to go with external Kafka, but I want to highlight that stream node is always the issue, right? But anyway, now with the external service, right, we normally we won't face these issues. And next is about the downtime. If you ask me, right, minimizing the downtime during upgrade process, right, that really helps to avoid disruptions to the business operations. So these are the challenges I would say from infrastructure and then from a Pega application point of view. But overall, right, what I can what is my experience is many of the client organizations, right, they might lack in-house skills in terms of fully understand the architectural changes from version 7 to version 8, or from version 8 to Infinity 23 or 24, right? Whereas the service companies, right, they might have a dedicated upgrade team with a containerization deployment experience, right? So because these teams, right, they will be focusing only on upgrade and containerization projects, and they make sure that the project is successful, right? So one more thing which I can share it out is based upon mixed experiences. Having the right experts on board is essential, to ensure the the successful and seamless upgrade process, Jayanti.
Got it. Okay, Shikhar. So understood and noted. I agree on the challenges in finding the skilled experts for Pega upgrades in containerized environment, and the complexity of handling the infrastructure by application issues, including SSL, Kafka, and code retrofitting issues. Also agree the minimizing downtime and actively coordinating with external team for security and compliance are essential and key for any successful upgrade. So now, can we talk about the upgrade process itself? Can you walk us through the pre-upgrade analysis and how Installers identifies the potential conflicts in the existing Pega environment, Shikhar?
Sure, Janti. When it comes to pre-upgrade, right? Our goal is to identify this problematic rules during a pre-upgrade phase itself, right?
Mhm.
Because which will be really helpful to avoid any surprises which arises in the testing stage, right?
Yeah.
So based upon our extensive experience, right, with upgrades from version 7 to 8, and then with version 8 to Pega Infinity 23 and 24, right? We know what are the rules which will be get impacted, and what normally we used to do it out is we go and proactively address those issues upfront. And overall, right, this upgrade accelerator solutions, which I would say it's more robust in terms of ensure that the problematic rules are resolved before the application is being handed over to the testing team.
Okay.
So from a approach perspective, right, I would say most of the upgrade process, right, they will follow the test-driven approach, right? When I say test-driven approach, normally, right, where the testing team, they will evaluate the functionality, and then the development team, right, resolve the issues. That's how most of the upgrade applications, right, you might see in most of the applications they will be following it out. So this back and forth process, right, what would happen is typically it involves a multiple rounds of issues identification by testers, and again I'll come back to the developers. Subsequent the fixes to the development team, then it will go back to the testing team. Likewise, right, it will back and forth, it will move forward, right? Okay. So when it comes to this, our Installers upgrade accelerator, right, our upgrade specialist team, right, we fixes, I would say, nearly 60% of potential issues earlier on, because we know what are the issues which would occur in each versions, right? This reduce the overall testing efforts, and which helps to streamline the upgrade process, right?
Okay.
And next thing which I can think of is I would say nearly 50% of the testing efforts can be reduced with this with our approach, Jayanti.
Got it, Shikhar. Glad to know that Pega Upgrade Accelerator resolves around 60% of potential issues upfront. And as you mentioned, this should significantly reduce the need for extensive testing cycles by 50%. So we have covered the overview, upgrade, and challenges regarding the accelerator. Can we now talk about the post-upgrade support? What kind of support does Installers offer post-upgrade? How do you ensure that organizations continue to run efficiently and securely in the new environment?
Sure, Janti. When it comes to the post-upgrade, right, after we do upgrade, right, we offer extensive, post-upgrade support, which, helps to design the, applications operates, efficiently and secured in the new environment, right? Okay. So I can highlight 3 points. One is the application monitoring, proactive maintenance, and dedicated support, right? When I say application monitoring, meaning what is? So we continuously monitor the performance and the functionality of the application. So that's a way, right, the monitoring would happen, right? Okay. Next is when it comes to the proactive maintenance, right? Our team, regularly, maintains the activities to prevent, potential issues which, before it arises. So that's a way, proactive maintenance would be there. And obviously, when it comes to dedicated support, right, we provide, dedicated support and address any issues which is raised after upgrade.
Okay.
And when it comes to the real-time experience, right, I would like to share, we recently, migrated application, one of the client application from, current versions to the latest versions, and moving from a VM base to the containerization, environment, right? Okay. During the upgrade process, right, the customer, right, they did not perform the performance testing. right? But we were involved in capacity planning, and we know number of number of nodes which are running, and we know number of nodes which are configured. We know number of users which are using the application, right? Based upon that, right, what we done it out is we advise the client and the number of paths, right, which are needed for the containerization deployment, right? What we did is, after we deploy the application to the production environment, right, we were continuously monitoring the applications on a daily basis, right? Our team, usually checks the CPU and memory usage of the parts on daily basis in each clusters, right? So proactive monitoring that, which ensures that application is running without any issues, right? So always I would say, when it comes to the post upgrade, right, always it should be a preventive approach rather than a reactive approach. So that is always ensures that application is stable, Jayanti.
Got it. Okay, Shikhar. Happy to hear that the monitoring and the maintenance support that we offer post upgrade by tracking the CPU and the memory usage of the pods which are in the cluster. So this support should be fair enough for any organization for a successful upgrade journey. So moving on to the next question, we all know that Pega has deprecated VM deployments, and there is a push towards containerization starting from version 8.8. So what do you see are the key benefits of containerizing any Pega environment, Shikhar?
Sure, Janti. As I mentioned about the containerization environment, right? Migrating to the standard Pega deployment model, right, with the containerization Kubernetes, right? It offers several advantages over VM-based one, right? So in the containerization environment, right, setting up a Pega application becomes significantly easy, right? When I say significantly easy, meaning we no longer need to wait for infrastructure and middleware team to establish the the necessary infrastructure and installation and all, right? So what I can share my real-time example or experiences. First time when we do a containerization environment setup, right, the team might feel challenges because first time when they do a configurations, right, they might feel the challenges. After once they get well versed with all these configurations, then it's very quite easy for them to go and configure it for the next environment and all, right? And when it comes to the containerization, right, the maintenance wise, right, it's very simplified and more efficient in the containerization deployment. And when it comes to the node settings and configuration management, right, which is much easier and which helpful for improve the process overall, and it makes the process smoother, right? So that once you've done a containerization deployment for one environment, basically we can go and take the same AML file, deployment files, and then you can go and do it out for the other environments. It's much easier. And overall, right, I would say there is much improved in I would say operation stability and flexibility when it comes to the rolling restarts and application changes. So whenever you make rolling restarts and application changes, right, that really this containerization is very helpful, right? That is one thing which I can highlight it. And when it comes to I would say the Kubernetes, right, it offers various features. With that features, right, it allows us to run a large applications with I would say more efficient and cost effective way. And when it comes to auto scaling, right, as I mentioned previously, easily we can scale up or scale down based upon the user demand, right? And also it includes the self-healing capabilities, right? So these are the main features which is really helpful when it comes to the Kubernetes and containerization environment, Jayanti. And in real-time example is in one of our client projects, right, we need to go and do a testing environment setup within a shorter span of time, right? So with this Kubernetes environment, right, what as we already done it out for a development environment, we were able to set this environment faster and efficient way. So by that way, right, we could able to understand that Kubernetes allows us quick setups and with efficient resource management, Jayanti.
Got it, Shikhar. So which means the benefit of migrating to a standard Pega deployment model with containerized Kubernetes, such as simplified environment creation and enhanced scalability, and it improves performance stability, are very clear. So it's also impressive to know how quickly that you have set up the testing environment that was created and established for a client project using Kubernetes. Shikhar, now can we discuss on how does Installars help organization to navigate this shift to cloud-based containerized environment, and what do customized Pega images and Helm charts play a role in this process?
Sure, Jayanti. So our specialized team, right? We help the organizations to move the current environment to the cloud. In the containerization environment. With our custom solutions, right? We make sure that the migration process is easy and efficient. So that is the one thing which I can highlight it out. And when it comes to the custom Docker images, right? Yes, we have created a custom Docker images to include JDBC chart file, and we provided a read-write access permissions for some of the files like peer config, peer login, or we are providing a permissions for peer folder. So by the way, right, custom Docker images are created, right? And when it comes to the Pega Helm charts, right? Yes, Pega Helm charts and Kubernetes deployment, right? I would say is much simpler by Pega provided packaging all the necessary resources, including the parts and services in a single configuration file, right? And we have customized this Pega Helm charts basically to adjust resources like CPU, memory, and if you want to do and to do a setup for a database connections, and then to configure a token storage, right? Obviously, we have customized it. And next thing is when it comes to the auto scaling, also we have customized this Helm charts. I mean, basically the YAML files, right? For adjusting the scaling properties, and then for setting up the logging and then monitoring. So all these customizations, right? It helps to keep the applications running and smoothly and efficiently, Jayanti. I would say overall, right? Our team, right? We help to enable the organizations to manage their Pega applications efficiently, and we facilitate the easy updates with the scalability of maintaining and compliance and standards to each organization.
Got it. It is clear on the detailed explanation of Pega Web Ready and Installer setup, including the custom Docker images and the Helm chart customization. Shikhar, can you give us an overview of Pega standard deployment model with externalization of services?
Sure, Jayanti. When it comes to standard deployment model, right? Here you can see, here you can see that, the right hand side, right? You can see, right hand side, right? You can see the database, right? Here, for the example, we have mentioned about the Postgres, but based upon the client's requirement, right? Wherever they are deploying, whether they are deploying in AWS or Azure or on-premises OpenShift, right? The database may differ based upon the requirement, right? And you can see the Cassandra, Kafka, and Elasticsearch, right? It's externalized now, right? It's totally externalized now. And left hand side, you can see the cluster. So when I say cluster, so now the cluster, it's something a Pega cluster where I would say it includes the web parts, and this web parts, right, scale up or scale down based upon the user load, and we have a background processing or batch node which is running within the application, right? And in the same cluster, right, you can also notice that there is a Hazelcast part, right, within that Pega cluster, and and also now the recommendation is to deploy the SRS in a separate namespace, right, with the latest versions, right? So, and also the Constellation is also one of the service should be deployed in a separate namespace. So this Constellation is something which it's a new one where whenever you want to build a Constellation applications, right, we need to go and deploy it. And so overall, right, this Pega clusters, right, it integrates with SRS, right? SRS, which internally it connects to the external Elasticsearch instance. That's the way the search would works in the latest deployment model, right?
Got it.
And now you can notice that there is no search or stream pods in the current deployment because everything has been externalized, right? If you see the previous, right, we will have a search node and then we have a stream node and all, right? Now totally there is no stream and search node, right? Everything has been externalized. And when it comes to deploying the Pega application in the containerization, Kubernetes environment, we can also sequence the pod. When I say sequence the pod in an automated way, right? When I say sequence the pod, meaning the Hazelcast paths has to come after the Cassandra, Kafka, and Elasticsearch is available. meaning Hazelcast, the Cassandra would be required only for Pega CDH applications. But all these things services are available, then Hazelcast parts can be up. Then followed by search part, then the background processing, and then finally in the web parts. So these are the things from a sequence perspective. So now going forward, this is a standard model, and each and every application has to follow Jayanti.
Got it. I understand the recommendation to adopt to a standard deployment model starting with Pega version 8.8 for consistency. I appreciate the importance for client technology choices, the integration of Pega application with external services like Kafka and Elasticsearch, and the need for proper pod sequence in Kubernetes environment. So everyone, now we have completed 30 minutes of discussion. Please stay tuned with us for another 15 minutes for an exciting demo. So Shekhar, now that we have covered the theory, could you give us a quick demo of how Pega Smart Upgrade Accelerator works in action? Specifically, can you see how automated rule-based updates and schema changes are handled during the upgrade process?
Sure, Jayanti. So before I jump onto the demo, right, I want to just quickly show I mentioned about two case steps, right? One is upgrade case step and post upgrade, right? As a part of upgrade case step, right, what we come up is there are different stages which get involved. One is the gap assessment. So gap assessment, then preparation, pre-upgrade, upgrade, and deploy, right? So high level in the gap assessment, we'll be doing the Pega modernization assessment, and we'll check the guardrails, compliance report, and all those things will be covered up as a part of gap assessment. When it comes to the preparation, yes, based upon that, we will be collecting the DB details, and then the user has to select whether it is an in-place upgrade or out-place upgrade. So those details and creating a blank schemas, right? Let's say they're going for a out-place upgrade, then we need to go and create a blank schemas. And the pre-upgrade, right? Pre-upgrade, in the pre-upgrade stage, right, we'll be collecting the Docker details. When I say Docker details, meaning what are the YAML files which are required for this deployment. When I say deployment, meaning we are going to do a rule upgrade, and we are going to do the data upgrade, and then we are going to deploy the backing services. We are going to deploy the Pega. So all those YAML files, right, will be preparing it in the pre-upgrade. Then actual comes to the upgrade. In the upgrade, right, again based upon the in-place upgrade or out-place upgrade, right, we'll be going and deploying the part for, first we'll go and deploy the part for rule upgrade. Once that is done, then we'll go for a data upgrade. Once that is done, then we'll go and deploy the backing services. Then we'll go for deploying a Pega. So these are the stages which just get involved in upgrade case step. Now I'll go for a demo. Just give me a minute. I'll share my screen.
Okay. So this is impressive that we can complete the upgrade list, the containerization in just few steps, Shekhar. Waiting to see the demo.
Yeah, I'll share my screen.
Yeah, okay.
So let me know once you are able to see my screen, Jayanti.
Yeah, it is loading for me. Yeah, able to see now, Shekhar.
So first I'll go for an upgrade case type. Okay. So as I mentioned, right, the upgrade case type, it starts with the gap assessment, right? In the gap assessments, I mentioned that the modernization, the Pega modernization assessment, right? So as I mentioned, right, our entire solutions, right, we have a guided process and also the automated process. So when it comes to the guided process, right, so here is the first step where importing the Pega modernization tool, right? So here, the team can go and click, and then they can import their modernization packages, right? For example, right, I can go and deploy the modernization package, right, and then I can go and deploy it, and then I can proceed further. Right?
Okay.
So once it is done, right. So basically, for interest of time, I'll skip all this importing part and all, right? So once it is done, then we will be going and move to the next step, right? First is importing the Pega modernization packages. So once that is done, next is we need to go and update the application stack. Right? When I say update the application stack, meaning what are the modernization rule sets which has been imported as a part of this package, we need to go and update in the respective application stack. So here we provide option where they can go and click the application, then they can go and update it. So already as we updated, that's the reason it's showing over here. Okay. For interest of time, I'm just skipping this step also. So this all the guided steps. Okay. So once that is done, next step is to go and generate the modernization assessment, right? So once that is done, once you add the rule set versions in that application stack, then you can go and click the modernization, and then you can generate the modernization assessment report. right?
Okay.
So right, you can generate a modernization assessment report, and you should go and attach this modernization report in the using this attachment functionality. So this is basically for tracking what sort of report has been generated, right? In each environment, right? So once that is done, then they can check this checkbox, so that right they can move forward. Okay. So interest of time, I'm not attaching and then generating it out in real time, right? That's how it proceeds for us. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So once it is done, next comes to the Gardels score, right? When it comes to the Gardel score, yes, they can go and generate the Gardel score, right? And then they can generate a Gardel score PDF file, and then they can go and attach that Gardel score report here. And then once they attach it, right, again this is for tracking purpose of Gardel's score in each environment. Then they can select this checkbox, and then they can proceed further.
Okay.
So I'll just select it and then proceed further. So next comes this evaluate the customizations, right? So this is where some manual process which gets involved. When I say manual process, meaning see now we need to analyze what all the customizations have been done in the each client environment, right? So whether any components of third-party applications have been customized. When it comes to Pega database, right, whether they have customized anything, right? And any custom third-party libraries have been used in the applications, or any special site requirements which they are using out, right? So all those evaluation has to be done. So now, as of now, right, see all these things is a manual task, but as a part of upgrade accelerator, right, as I mentioned, right, our upgrade specialist team, as we have done this upgrade project in a multiple clients, right, we know what all the things has to be done, and we make sure that all these things are addressed. So from an accelerator perspective, we make sure that all these checks are done before they move to the next step.
Got it. Okay.
So then only we will be able to move to the next one. So once this is done, right, then we'll go for the preparations, right? When I say preparations, here it involves housekeeping and skimming. So obviously if you want to go and you want to delete any rules and versions, or if you want to do a skimming and all, right, yes, we can go and do it out. Skimming is something is optional. Some applications they will do a minor skimming, and some let's say if an application is there for 7 to 8 years and a lot of rules and versions are there, they can go for a major skimming also. But skimming is something optional. It depends upon the client requirement, but it's one of the I would say stage is been a step added in our preparation stage. So once that is done, then we'll be moving to the committing the existing hotfix. So the committing existing hotfixes is in some of the environment, right, the hotfixes may not be committed, right? Before you do upgrade, make sure that you committed all the existing hotfixes.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So this is something which we need to make sure they are committing all the existing hotfixes. So then it comes to the actual collecting the upgrade details, right? So this is a place where we will collecting the upgrade details. When I say collecting the upgrade details, is here the environment type is container based one, right? Previously we have something called VM based one. And second option is upload the kube config, right? When I say upload kube config, is nothing but we are trying to connect to the Kubernetes clusters using a kube config file. So obviously what are the kube config file is being generated, right? We should upload this kube config file over here. Using this kube config file only we will be connecting to the cluster. And when it comes to the template type, right, we have come up with the two template type. One is default template type and custom template. So when you go for default template type, right, so we have come up with the templates for Pega upgrade, for rule and data, and then we have come up with the template for backing services. We have come up with the templates for network policies. We have come up with the we have come up with the template for the Pega deployment YAML files. So when it comes to the custom, right, what is custom is the custom one, they can see if the customer is already having YAML files, right? And if they are well versed, they could be able to create the YAML files and all, right? So using this custom option, yes, we can go and upload those YAML files, and then we can do auto deployment also. So we have provided a two option. One is the template type. So most of the time, right, we'll go with the template type because everyone is new to the containerization, right? They may not know what are the configurations which would be there in each YAML file, right? So that is the reason, right? We will go for the default template type. As for demo purpose, I'll go for default template type, and then I'll just, for interest of time, I'll pre-populate the values. So I'll just pre-populate the values. Now I'll upload the kube config file. Just give me a minute. I'll upload the kube config file. So I uploaded the kube config file. Right? Once this is done, I'll move to the next step. So here, right, we'll be collecting the DB details, right? In the previous step, right, we have selected, the upgrade approaches outplace upgrade, right? So as the outplace upgrade is selected, now when you go for a for the new environment, right, we need to have a new rule schema, right? That's the reason, outplace, when you select outplace upgrade, yes, obviously we should go and create new rule schema. And so for interest of time, right, I'll pre-populate these values, but usually, we'll be capturing all those details for just for a demo purpose. For interest of time, I'll pre-populate all these values. Here, we are using a Postgres as a DB where the DB details are being entered, and then, the current schema details are being entered, and then new rule schema, right? When I say what are the schemas, which new rule schema, and then temporary data schema. So these details will be captured in this step, right? DB details will be captured in this step. Right?
Got it.
So in right hand side, you can see, the attachments of kubeconfig, right? What are the kubeconfig file which I've uploaded in the previous stage? You can see it's been attached in the case. Right?
Okay.
So next I'll move forward. So once that is done, right? So here is creating a blank schema, right? Here I want to highlight that we need to go and, create a blank schema, right? Here, what we have done it out is automated way, right? We are going creating the blank schemas from a Pega itself, right? What I'll do is quickly I'll stop sharing it, and then I'll show the Postgres DB where there are schemas which are available. After I complete this create blank schemas, right, automatically the schemas will be created. Just give me a time. I'll show the Postgres DB now.
Sure. So I could see the guided steps are so easy for use for anyone who understands the application infrastructure.
Yes, Jayant.
Okay.
I hope you are able to see my Postgres DB.
Yeah, Postgres able to see now.
Yes, so you can see the 5 schemas, that is rules and data, it's already there, right?
Correct, yeah.
So I'll stop sharing it, and then I go back, and then I'll come back here again. Sorry for moving here and there.
No worries.
So are you able to see my Pega screen? Pega portal screen?
Yeah, able to see now, Shikhar.
Yeah. So once I click on this create Banca scheme, once I submit this, particular step, right, what would happen is, right, it will go and create this new rule schema, temporary data schema. So I'll do a submit here.
Yeah.
So again, I'll again stop there, and then I'll share it again, so that I can show it's a real time, right?
The new schemas getting created.
Yeah, I want to show the real time. So that's
Sure.
Are you able to see there are Pega new rules schema and Pega temporary data schema has been created. So this is automated, right? This is not being created manually. This is completely automated.
Okay. So we need not switch back between Postgres also. Everything will be done by the accelerator itself, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll go back again to the Pega portal. Right? Are you able to see my screen, Jayanti?
Yeah, able to see, Shikhar.
Yeah. So once that creation of blank schemas is done, next step is capture the upgrade details. So this is the where it comes with collecting the Docker images and registry. As I mentioned, right, for web ready, and then for for the installer image is the one which would be using it for upgrade, right, when you do a rule upgrade and data upgrade. So for interest of time, I'll pre-populate these values, but real time we'll be capturing all those details. So here you can see that in Pega installer image, right? So this is a custom Docker image which you have used a Docker app, and then we uploaded it.
Okay.
So I'll just proceed further. Right?
Okay.
So once this is done, before I explain this step, I want to highlight that, see, there are 2 YAML files are generated here, right? It's been attached.
Yeah.
One is Pega upgrade rule YAML file, and next is Pega upgrade data YAML file, right? So whenever we go and do a deployment of Pega upgrade rule YAML file, right? So this is the YAML file will get deployed, which takes care of doing a rule upgrade. And next is for a data.
Okay.
So as we are in the preparation stage, right, a pre-upgrade stage, right, that is the reason all the prerequisites, which are showing out as a part of this one. So when it comes to the backing services, right, there are prerequisites has to be done. So as I mentioned previously, the backing services, right, it covers mainly on the SRS and then Constellation, right, for SRS. And then, if you are, let's say if you're going and doing a setup of Elasticsearch, right? That is also comes as a part of this backing services. So
Got
all
it.
this prerequisites, right, has to be done. So we provided instructions here, and the team can go and easily copy those instruction. I would say commands, and then they can run it out,
Yes.
right?
Got it.
Just for interest of time, I'll proceed further.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
So next comes with collecting the backing services details, as I mentioned, right? So whatever I've shown previously is a prerequisite, right? The commands has to be run in terms of the search and all, right? Here is something which is related to the what is the Docker image would be using it out and all, right? So this again, for interest of time, quickly, I'll auto-populate it. So in real time, we need to key in all those details.
Okay.
So if you go and see it here, right, what are the things which are capturing it out is we are capturing the BusyBox image and SRS image, basically, the SRS image. And when it comes to the constellation, right, the constellation image, we are giving it out. And here, we are trying to deploy, Elasticsearch also when you deploy the, the backing services. So the Elasticsearch, the version also we gave, all those details have been done. And next thing is you can see the network policy also. Here, we have given the CDR IP. Basically, this is to deploy the network policy YAML file, set the network policies, right? So we need to give the IP range, CDR IP range. So those, IPs also, we gave a range over here at real time, right? Based on the client environment, right? The CDR IPs, will be keying in over there.
Got it. Okay.
So once this is done, maybe I'll just do a submit here. So once this is done, right, basically you can see right hand side in the attachments, you can see the backing services YAML, backing services, network policies, right? So whenever we go and deploy the backing services, first thing is we'll be deploying the network policies, backing services network policy, then we'll go and deploy the backing services. Okay? So that is the way we'll be deploying each YAML file. So basically based upon the details, what has been keyed in this case details, right? Based upon that, we are generating the YAML file.
YAML file. Okay, got it. Clear.
Yeah. So next comes the actual Pega deployment YAML file, right? So when I say Pega deployment YAML file is YAML file which covers web node, batch node, and the stream node, all those things, right? And if it is Cassandra is there, let's say if it is for CDH, Cassandra would be there, and if it is Hasselcast, right, we'll we need to give the Cassandra now, right? So again, for interest of time, Jayanti, again, sorry, I'll do auto population here because I need a key. If I key in all the details, right, it will take a lot of time.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so here you can see in the web node perspective, right, what is the domain name, and when it comes to the replica, as of now, just for its demo purpose, we gave a replica of 1, but obviously, there will be more replica and not, right? And then batch node details, and then I was, keep on saying about the scaling, auto scaling and all. This is the place where part auto scaling comes into picture, and we can key in the CPU limit in terms of memory. Also, we can key in all those details. We can key in out. And when it comes to the stream node, right, as I mentioned, right, anyway, we are going for externalized one. Already the Kafka has been set up in our environment, so that is the reason we are just entering the Kafka server details over here. And when it comes to Hasselcast, yes. Hasselcast, just for demo purpose, we gave a replica of 1, but obviously, the recommendation is go for replica of 3, right? When it comes to the Hasselcast, right? But for demo purpose, that's why we give it as 1. So this is the Docker image, right? Clustering Docker images and all, right? So if it is, if it is a CDH application, then you can go and enable this Cassandra, and then you can deploy it. Okay. So here is the place, as I mentioned, right? All the, I would say, what are the parts which are required for deploying a Pega, right? Those details will be capturing it over here. So what normally we'll do it out is based upon the template, right? I in the first screen, I mentioned about template. Based upon the template, right? What we are trying to do it out is we are capturing the details, and then we have a template. Based upon that, we are generating YAML file, Jayanti.
YAML file. Okay, perfect, Shikhar.
Okay, so for interest of time, I'll do a submit again here. Okay, so now next step is actually, we are going to do a upgrade of rule, right? As I mentioned in the case type, right? When I walk through the case type, there is an upgrade stage and there is a deploy stage. Now, upgrade stage, we are going to do a rule upgrade and data upgrade, and deploy, it comes the backing services and Pega deployment, right? So once this is basically what are the details which I captured in the previous screen in the pre-upgrade step, right? Those details would be there. So once I do a submit here, right, what would happen is it will go and deploy the rule upgrade in a part, and then the upgrade will be started automatically, Jayanti.
Okay.
So let me show that part here. So So I'll do a submit. So here you can see, right? You can see that my Pega rules upgrade, right? And then it got deployed, right? So now the good part is, we can go and get the part status also here. When I click here, part, right? You can see the part is running, right?
Running, yeah.
Yes, part is running. And one more thing, which one of the very special feature which I've implemented is you can click view logs. Okay, you see this view logs, right? You can go and see the runtime logs of all the Pega upgrade which is happening at the background, right? So if you go and see, right, we have deployed a part, and the part is nothing but the rule upgrade part, and it started doing upgrade, Jayanti.
Upgrade, yeah.
So the same way.
Yeah. Okay. Got it, Shikhar.
The same way, right? The rule upgrade and data upgrade also done. So once the rule upgrade is done, see, normally rule upgrade, right, based upon the applications, it may run for 20 or 25 minutes, or if the application is a big application, it may take some time, right? Once that is done, then we'll go for a data, upgrade part, deployment of data upgrade part. So once that is done, right, then we'll go for a deployment of backing services. Then we'll go for a deployment of Pega and all. So overall, right, we have automated end-to-end in terms of deployment with the containerization environment.
Got it.
So from a demo purpose, right, as this rule upgrade will takes a lot of time, I cannot show all the deployments, but this is a way, right, we have in each, whenever we go and deploy a part, this is the same way the part will be deployed, and then we can go and get the status, and then we can view the runtime logs, and even you can download the logs also. So all these logs, right, it's getting from the Kubernetes cluster environment, right? We could able to capture the runtime logs, showing here, and then if any necessary action has to be taken, we can do it out. Even if it is failed, right, we can go and retry also. We have a mechanism for that also. We can fix it out, and then we can move forward. So that's how retry mechanism also handled in this Accelerator solution.
Got it, Shikhar. So I could understand that this is a one-stop solution for all the upgrade plus containerization. So based on the demo, I can understand just one person can complete the upgrade plus containerization in just few clicks. So this also saves the time and effort for organization.
Yes, Jayanti. Yeah. Next is when it comes to, see, that's what as I mentioned, right? As rule upgrade is running, I cannot proceed for the deployment of Pega and deployment of backing services, right? But the same way, it'll run it and all. So when it comes to the post upgrade case step, right? So as interest of time, right, I'll just quickly walk through what all the things the post upgrade case step covers, right? So first stage is about the health check. So basically, this is to review the sanity checks and review the logs. Right. Once that is done, then update. Update is nothing but running the update utilities using our case step. Right, we can directly open the respective wizard, and then you can running the update utilities. So then next comes the technical validations. The technical validation, it covers the updating the existing application, and generating a report of rule conflict, generating the deprecated rules. All those things can be covers as a part of technical validation. Next comes the framework upgrade, right? If application is using any framework, right, normally after we do a Pega upgrade, right, we will go and import the respective framework versions, right? So that is it covered as a part of this stage. Next comes the application remediation, right, based upon the Pega modernization assessment and based upon deprecated rules, based upon our root conflicts and all, right? The team will be start fixing the remediation issues. Next is I want to highlight this particular step, replacing agents, right? This is one of the very good feature which we come up. Basically, right, that agents, right, in the version in the lower versions of Pega, the advanced agents and standard agents are deprecated. But most of the application, still they are continue using, standard agents and standard agents and advanced agents, right? So what we come up with this step where you can go and create the respective job shellers and queue process. For example, if you have advanced agents, right, you can go and select the rule set version. Rule set versions, right, based on the rule set version, it will display and it will show the list of all the advanced agents, right? Once you select the rule set versions, it will go and automatically create the respective job shellers for the advanced agents. Same thing, right, for standard agents, right, we'll be creating a QP. See, the complexity involves when you go and create a QP, I'll tell you. See, creation of QP is not a big thing, but when it comes to standard agents, right, the standard agents would be referring in a multiple activities, right?
Exactly.
So maybe the standard agents will be queued in different activities, right?
Exactly.
So for that also, what we done it out is we go and identify all the referencing rules, and then we go and comment those queuing part, and then we go and add a step for the queue processor. Okay. And then we have updated the that activity, save us into higher versions and all. So this is one of the very good feature I can say it out for replacing the agents, right? Obviously, Pega started saying that deprecation of agents is done, right? So using this one, right? Let's take example, Jayanti. If application is having 50 agents, right? Where it might be a very big application where they might have 25 advanced agents and 25 standard agents, right? So standard, always there is a challenging when it comes to standard agents, because referencing, even the application team, they used to face the challenges where these agents are being queued in different activities, right? Using this tool, right, usually we will be able to reference all the places, and then we can go and update the respective step with standard agent to QP, Jayanti.
Got it, Shikhar. That is going to be incredible, because I can imagine the benefits that any organization gets from this accelerator, Shikhar. So this is going to be a game changer. So finally, as we wrap up, so what is the one thing that you would like organization to take away from today's session about upgrading and containerizing the Pega environment?
Sure, Janti. As we move forward, right, all the application has to follow again, I'm saying the standard deployment model, right? As many, Pega development team or Pega developers, right, they are not familiar with the new setup or configurations, right? Yeah. Our Pega Upgrade Smart Upgrade Accelerator, right? It provides a streamlined and guided process, right? That automates the rule upgrade, data upgrade, also deployment of backing services, and then deployment of Pega, right? Okay. So our team, we are experts in upgrade, and we Pega upgrade also in the containerization deployment, right? Mm-hmm. We will ensure that the seamless upgrade from current versions to the latest versions. Okay. And based upon our extensive experience, right, we have we can upfront fix all those issues, and we'll make sure that your upgrade project is successful, Jayanti. And last point which I want to say to us, reach out to us if you want to get started your modernization journey with the Pega upgrade in the containerization deployment, Jayanti.
Got it, Shikhar.
Thank you.
So thank you for the great demo, Shikhar, and thank you all for attending. I hope you see how our Smart Upgrade Accelerator streamlines Pega upgrades and containerization. As we close, remember that today's smooth upgrade are key to maintain performance, security, and scalability, and we are here to make it possible. So feel free to reach out to us for any queries or any deeper discussions related to the Upgrade Accelerator. Our coordinates are getting displayed on the screen, and thanks again for your time, and we look forward for your support, supporting your upgrade journey. Take care until the next webinar on a different topic. Thank you all.
Thank you all.